Hey, what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Body beat down here, Michael, on this hump day, early afternoon. I don't know what time it is. Oh, it's 11:55 in the hey m. So, yeah, I thought I would do just kind of a quick little video talking about, just a real quick kind of a talk about my workouts and where I'm at and how I got where I'm at. And we'll try to keep this kind of short and sweet. But I tend to ramble on as I'm fixing to do for probably the next 10 minutes. Because I do stuff like this. Anyway, let me get to the point here. So I got to make sure I know what I'm doing here. Yeah, okay. Stuff on paper. So, I uploaded a short video, maybe yesterday or, I don't know, Monday, I don't know when. But, it was entitled something like, Be Like Jordan, Be Like Michael Jordan, something like that. And that's kind of touching base on what I'm talking about now. And what I said in that video was something along the lines of, be like Jordan. I don't know. I done forgot what I said, but it was very prolific. It was really amazing. It probably should be wrote down in history books for history purpose. So anyway, so I kind of look. I watch a lot of different channels. I watch a lot of different YouTube channels and channels I'm not even subscribed to that are still about health and fitness or something to that degree. And I see how different a lot of us are. We're all we're kind of the same but different. And I get to sometimes I get comments about you're doing good, or relax, or don't expect too much, or you expect too much of yourself, or something, just something along them lines. And then I see different people work out along the way and stuff, and I guess what I'm trying to say, sort of, kinda, is if I had, this is geared towards no certain person. Please, for the love of God, this is not geared towards no certain person. It's things that go on my mind, that have been on my mind even before I met probably 90% of the people that are subscribed to me, or I'm subscribed to you. So it's just something that I'm bringing up, and something that gets kind of brought up, and I see it kind of brought up. Well, number one, you can go on YouTube or any other platform, and you can scroll through and you can see, don't do this after 30, don't do this after 40, don't do this after 50, after 60, you should never do this movement, you should never do these combinations of movements, you should only do this, you shouldn't be doing that. If you're over 50, don't do this, but do this. And do that, and don't do this, and you shouldn't be lifting heavy, you shouldn't be lifting medium, you shouldn't be lifting at all, you shouldn't be walking, you shouldn't even try to breathe. So, and 99.99999% of the time, I don't look at the videos, because as soon as you label something like that, I just scroll on by, or I mouse on by. I scroll on my mouse or my phone. And so right there, you've already lost me. Number one, don't tell people what to do in their workouts and their anything. When it comes, especially to stuff like that, or anything, fashion, you shouldn't be wearing this. That's none of your business what people are doing, And then you see comments on your videos that kind of coincide with some of these things. Not exactly, but kind of button along the same lines sometimes. Again, this is not geared towards anyone, buddy. Everybody on my that subscribe to me and that interacts with me is amazing, and I love you, and I thank you for being here. And believe me, if it wasn't for hooking up with you guys on here, I wouldn't hook up with anybody, because I don't have nobody in my life. So, but Mike, you're married, got kids and family. Again, you're all I got. So anyway, so what I get to thinking about is, if I put all these limitations on myself, like all these people are putting on other people, or like you're putting on yourselves because you're a certain age, or you got maybe a little injury here and there, or a little this or that, or a little bit of both, or you work construction all day, or maybe you're out there on the waters, deep sea fishing, whatever, commercial fishermen, or you're climbing skyscrapers and what have you, and you don't do anything else because, well, that's what you do. Well, sometimes you gotta do more. So my buddy Wilson G, he does a lot of like carpentry type stuff and different things like that, and builds things and does some amazing stuff that he's shown us a little bit of along the way. And he still does find time to work out, and he's one strong mother. So I don't know where he gets that strength from, but amazing. And I used to be in construction, and I worked construction almost 15 years. I started in 94, and I quit somewhere in 2008. So however many years that is, it's over 10. So, and I did quit for about 6 months and do something else at one time. And then I quit for about a year and a half to try and do something on my own, and kind of didn't push myself hard enough to do that. But I was still doing kind of construction stuff on my own. So anyway, you get the idea. So I know what it's like to work and to do hard manual labor and to be outside in this crap that I complain about every day and do all that stuff. And it sucks. It's not easy, believe me. Plus I had 2 young kids. And plus I always had nieces and nephews over, and we always hung out on the weekends, or other times off that I might have had along the way, or I always tried to be the good dad and the good uncle and husband, and do housework and yard work and my career work, whatever, and everything. So life can catch up with you quick. I don't know where I'm going with all this, but good grief, that's a lot of stuff. I'm worn out. I guess what I'm saying is, people put a lot of limitations on themselves when it comes to doing something like working out. So if you followed my journey from the very beginning, you'll see that I had issues with my deadlifts along the way. I got stuck at like 440, maybe 455, somewhere in there. I got stuck there for a long time, and I got to the point to where I was like, I guess I'm stuck here. I'm not going to be able to go up no more. And if I hadn't kept pushing and kept trying on that, I would have never gotten to my 500-pound goal that I wanted to get to. I've actually done 515 now. And I know in the grand scheme of things, that's low numbers. It's not a big deal. So, but the thing is, if I would have given up, and listened to some of the comments, man, that's good, you should be proud of that, blah, 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 and, if I would have given up on that, I would have never reached my goal that I wanted. But what did I do? I kept going, and I learned about the power of putting powder on my hands. That's why you don't see it, but there's a little bottle of powder down there behind that upright. Some Gold Bond medicated powder. And that's probably the 3rd one I've been through since I started using it back then. And if I hadn't just randomly said, hey, I've got powder, I'm going to try and put some powder on my hands. Never used it before. So, never used chalk, powder, nothing. So if I had not done that, I may have given up. My hands were getting tore up. My calluses were ripping open all the time and bleeding. I just didn't have the grip on my bar, and the strength and the grip and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of all goes together, coincides. But once I started using the powder, I got 2 PRs on my deadlift in one day. Literally, the same day I lifted, I put tried to go up more than what I had ever went up to. Let's say it was 460. Pulled 460. Oh my God, I got a PR. Oh my God, I haven't done that in forever. Oh my God. And then I put like 5 or 10 more pounds on, whatever it was. Boom. And I got it. I'm like, oh my God, I got 2 PRs in one day. So not only did I accomplish something that day, as far as getting past that sticking point, I also made myself feel amazing, which is what a lot of this stuff does for people. A lot of people that don't do it don't understand that this type of activity makes you proud. It may not make anyone else proud, but it makes you proud, and that's what's important, making yourself happy and proud. So that's my deadlift journey, and then from there I just kept going up till I got my goal. And now I've hit my 500-pound goal like a dozen times or more probably. So, and then the same thing with my squats. If you go back and watch, and I got a playlist in there somewhere, squats, and it may have my squats from back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. And you're going to see me squat probably to about here, maybe to here, and that's it. I never could make myself get any lower, even with, lightweight. I just couldn't mentally make myself break that plane. So I'm trying to chase this squat PR that I wanted to get, a 405, in this new journey I've been on since 2021. And, things were kind of going about the same as they used to, which wasn't fantastic. But finally, I started using my Smith machine for a reason. And the reason is I could actually go all the way down without having to worry about balancing a bar or balancing myself or anything. It was just strictly using my body and building the muscle and the endurance and all that it took to get my squats. To start squatting, to start moving past that plane and actually pretty much going ATG on my Smith machine. So I give huge credit to my Smith machine for helping me get to my squats where I'm at. So once I finally get some free weights going and I start really working on my free weight squat, slowly over time, it looks like things are getting better, but also at another point, I stalled and I said, well, I guess this is all I can do. I'm still not doing it as great as I want, and I still can't get this weight, and I still this, and I still that. I can't, But then I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going, and eventually, I got a squat. Now I can go down to what I consider parallel. I may not have the greatest squat form in the world. I don't know. I've been told it looks pretty good, but at the same time, I feel like it's not personally. So I don't know. All I know is I'm going for a movement, for a depth, more so than like textbook perfection. I'm going for a depth. So I worked hard and kept going and going and going until I was finally able to squat. And then I was able to start adding weight little at a time, and build it up to where I could finally get my goal of 405 pounds at a good squat, a good parallel squat. Now I've done that dozens of times. I've done sets of 405, like 5 or 6 reps, something like that, and done sets of them. So, and they're not all perfectly 110%, but they're very, very close. So much closer than what they used to be before I could even hardly break quarter, half reps. So if I had not kept pushing and trying, I would not have ever made myself happy and complete with my squats. Now we move on to the shoulder press. Now I wasn't as hard pressed, no pun intended, to do anything really special with my shoulder pressing, my barbell, sitting barbell shoulder presses. I wasn't really pressed to do anything amazing. I just wanted to get to where I was those years ago and do 245. Well, before you know it, I mean, it didn't take long. I did 245 again. And I was like, wow. You know, I matched what I did many years ago. I matched it. All right, good job. And with hard work, I surpassed that by quite a lot. I think my top end, I got 280. So that's like almost 40 pounds of, is it 40 pounds? 48? I don't know. Anyway, I'm bad at math. So I kept pushing and adding and pushing and adding, and, you know, till I've got I have a 280 max, 1 rep max, sitting barbell shoulder press. I can throw the 100 pound dumbbells on the list as well. Shoulder pressing. If you go back, and I've actually done a video before showing the differences, but the very first time I ever tried the 100 pound dumbbells for a sitting shoulder press was horrible. I had both my boys help me get the dumbbells in place. Horrible. The press was horrible. It was painful, disgusting. I did one horrible rep, but then after that, I started doing them by myself. I didn't need any more help. And it was working my way from 1 rep to 2 reps to 3 reps to 5 reps to 8 reps to 10 reps. And I got to where I was, I could do 2 sets of 10 and maybe a set of 9 or a set of 7 or, So I destroyed that because I didn't quit. That one first experience on that could have easily made a lot of people not want to do that again. But not me. I kept going. I kept doing it, and I expected more of myself. I know I can do this. I'm a decently big, strong guy. I can do this. So, again, I made myself extremely happy and proud of myself. You see the theme here, right? Make yourself happy and proud, right? That's the whole idea. So then we move on to the bench press, the flat bench press. And that was my last PR that I needed to get. I wanted to get a 405 pound bench PR, 1 rep. And it took a lot of reps to get there. It took a lot of sets and a lot of reps and a lot of workouts. And sometimes doing chest 3 times a week, and sometimes just doing it 2 or once a week. But it was constant. And then finally, a couple years ago, I don't know how long it's been at this point. Maybe not that long. I don't know. I think I got this in summer 2024. Anyway, but I had my old 2-post rack, and I didn't have any safeties, and so I didn't want to push myself to try and do the 405 for a long time because I didn't feel safe. I've done 285 on it before, which was stupid, without safeties and by myself. But I always kind of tried to make sure that I felt confident of what I could do. And I didn't want to do, did I say 285 or 385? Anyway, I did 385, a time or two before even going to the 405. So anyway, I finally got this rack, like last year or whatever it was. I don't forgot now, sorry. But yeah, I think I got it before school started last year. And I said, before school starts, back after the summer, before it starts back, I'm getting my 405. And I got that rack, I got it put together, and within maybe a week, if that, I don't remember, I got my 405 pound bench. And that was a very emotional time because that was the last PR that I had to get. And it wasn't too long before that, I guess, that I found out that I had this blood disorder with low blood platelet count. And in my mind, that's a death sentence. So I wanted to make sure that I got everything accomplished before something might happen to me. And when I got that 405-pound bench, it was very emotional. And I just kind of broke down on camera. And I left that in there because that's important to see. Because that shows what hard work and dedication will get you over, excuses. Well, I don't feel good today. Well, I'm tired today. Well, I got a little ache in my arms and my back today. Well, I've been out in the sun all day, or this, that, or the other. And there are exceptions, guys. I get it. I have a horrible back and horrible shoulder, and I don't like being outside anymore. I'm past all that. I'm too old, and I'm too used to being indoors. So I get, and I'm not saying excuses to burn to burn people. I'm just saying excuses as in we all have excuses. So if I would have let anything stand in my way, I would have never reached any of these goals that I had in mind. And that's why my workouts are extremely important, because I'm goal oriented. Is that the right word? Orient. Anyway, I have high expectations of myself, and regardless if I'm a broken down has-been of my former self from years and years ago or not, I still hold myself, accountable, and hold myself responsible for my own self. And that's everything from waking up in the morning to doing my job to getting in here and working out and doing this job. So that's why I'm really passionate about my workouts and taking them seriously. I don't really come in here with the intent of having a good old time. Good old fun time Mike is kind of years gone, unfortunately. That's another story. But that's what depression and anxiety and just everything else in the world can take from you. So when you do see me cut up and have a good time, sometimes it's really from the heart. Sometimes it's me making myself kind of do that. So, because anyway, a lot of times, I get the comments, don't be so serious, or, these are just numbers. These don't mean anything. This kind of, this ain't that important. Take it easy, relax, chill. Don't be so hard on yourself, etc., etc. Well, if I hadn't been so hard on myself, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, accomplishing my little goals in my little world. So I think if more people were that way, I think we'd have a lot more successful people in the gym. And again, this ain't pointed at anybody that normally watches my channel. Anybody. You guys are amazing, and if I didn't think you were good, cool, amazing people, I wouldn't keep hooking up with you online. Believe me. But this goes for the people out there who aren't driven, or who are driven by the New Year's resolution or kind of thing, or, once or twice a year you get driven to do something. This is for you people out there like that, to let you know that you're not going to get anywhere with that attitude. And that's whether it's in the gym, your career, whatever you're choosing to do, your personal life, relationships, kids, anything. You're not going to get anywhere by just, a lackluster effort. It's not going to happen. I'm the weird, odd anomaly case of years ago when I started working out in the 90s. I wouldn't dedicated nothing, not even close to like I am now. And somehow I still got stronger and accomplished decent things back then. Even back then, I had a 280 or a 380 or a 385 bench press, a 245 shoulder press. My squats suck, so I won't even mention those. Deadlifts, I was in the threes, almost 4. Maybe, not quite 4. It was like 350 or 3 something, I don't remember. And, I could curl 50 pounds still back then. I could do, stuff like that. I was stronger and more young. But I didn't put in the time and effort then like I have these last 5 years, since 2021. So, you got to put in the effort. And people wonder how you're able to move weights like this. So let me just touch on this. What I've done is mediocre. In the grand scheme of things, don't let me spit everywhere. In the grand scheme of things, the weights that I can do are mediocre. They really are. There's people out there 100 pounds smaller than me doing the same things and more. So, you got to look at that. We need to compete in our own world, and that's why I've always said I don't compete with nobody else. I compete with myself, because if you try to compete with everybody else out there, you're going to lose. And if we just keep losing to people, well, we're going to stop competing. We don't want to stop competing. We want to keep, challenging ourselves. So, anyway, kind of ended up being a long drawn out video here, and I'm sorry, but hopefully it was interesting enough for you guys to enjoy. And I'm sure a lot of you out there that watch this have went through the same journey, or you haven't went through that journey yet, and maybe you will, and you'll be making the same kind of video telling us about your journey. And but anyway, guys, that's just something I wanted to get off my chest and just kind of get out there. And appreciate everybody who supports the channel, all the subscribers, just random people that pop in and everything. I appreciate everybody, and I try to be decent and give you decent content, and something like this maybe that can help uplift you a little bit. So if I do that decently enough, maybe like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. To the Body Beatdown, that's me, Michael, your incredible host here on this hump day afternoon. Now what time is it? 12:22. Good grief. Whew. Like, share, subscribe, comment for me talking that long. And get up, get out, get rad. Do it to it. And we'll see you next time on the Body Beatdown. Now, go inspire yourself to inspire yourself.
Get up, get out, get rad, and do it to it!